Thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed it, if you felt it was useful. Now let's get into this. So, AJ Pulev, right? We know this fight's happening next, right? We've known it for months. I think the original date for this fight was it? No, it was the start of June originally. You know, back in March when we thought things would be, we have a normal 2020. That was the original date for this fight. You know, obviously we've heard AJ Pulev be mentioned for, you know, years before. You know, I think as far back as 2016, maybe even 2015. But we've heard Pulev AJ get mentioned before. Fight never happened. Fight was announced. Fight was signed for 2017 in the Principality Stadium. Never happened. Pulev pulled out with that fight. We ended up getting AJ Takam. But now, 2020, it seems like we're getting this fight, right? BoxRec have the fight penciled in on their end for, I think, December 12th, O2 Arena, AJ Pulev. They also have a Collie versus Glowacki on the undercard. I think I'll even show a snippet of it on the BoxRec snippet in this video. AJ Pulev, I mean, that's going to be on pay-per-view. There might be fans at it if it's in the O2. I'm assuming if things go smoothly, we probably won't get a full crowd, but we'll probably get close to. But people like, I could no more care for this fight than anything. I mean, I've done videos about this. In a way, I feel like Pulev he's the perfect opponent for AJ in his rehabilitation on his comeback. And let's not forget, this is still an AJ who was rehabilitating following the Andy Ruiz loss. It is. AJ will have been out of the ring for a year, a little over a year, by the time he gets in there with Pulev. Okay? Now, the fight before, he boxed a very defensive, very cagey, very cautious fight against Andy Ruiz, who, let's face facts, plodded all around the ring, was way overweight. Well, he's always overweight, but he was even more overweight in this fight. Plodded all around the ring. AJ used his physical attributes to beat Andy Ruiz. But you could tell there was moments there where Ruiz was getting close. AJ was a little bit uncomfortable. You know, he did remember the 4 knockdowns. He did remember what happened in New York in June of last year. And I think the fact that AJ, he's not been in the ring since. He's, you know, had a few injuries, you know, with the knee. He's probably not sparred much. I believe that a loss like that to Ruiz, it does take some coming back from. And there will be some psychological demons in there. Even now, you know, over a year removed from the loss and, you know, the redemption, there's still going to be some psychological demons there for Anthony Joshua. Having said all that, an opponent like Kubrat Pulev is the perfect opponent to help you get rid of some of those demons and to help you look devastating. Because Anthony Joshua, we've seen Anthony Joshua box. We've seen it against Povetkin. All right, obviously he boxed a lot against Ruiz in the rematch. We've seen that. If that's AJ's new style moving forward, it's not going to be too fan friendly. All right, we've seen some of AJ's fans slowly start to diminish a little bit. You know, not much, but slowly. It's not going to please the fans. You know, AJ brought excitement. He brought knockouts. He still is. He's vulnerable. We know that. So that was some of the exciting things about AJ. You know, he would go for it if he got a guy, you know, in trouble. Now, against Kubrat Pulev, he's going to be in there with a guy who is a better long-range boxer than him. But in terms of the ability to fight inside, Kubrat Pulev is, you know, he is a blind guy in a minefield. He just can't do it. He is not an inside fighter. He's not good on the inside. AJ, on the other hand, is actually quite good on the inside. You know, he's got good hooks, got very good uppercuts. So AJ, if he chooses to, if he brings this fight on the inside, he's going to have a lot of success against Kubrat Pulev. Definitely. Pulev, his best punch is his jab. If you look at the Klitschko fight, he was able to take Klitschko's jab, and Klitschko was a very, very good jab. He was able to take Klitschko's jab away early on in that fight and buzz Klitschko a bit. What did Klitschko do? He said, okay, have a left hook. That was it, literally what he did. That was it. Fight was over in 5 rounds. Pulev took a beating. That was a better Pulev that we have now. It was a younger, fresher Pulev. Pulev's best win in his career, you would have to say Chisora, based off just resume alone. Chisora, because you can say Hughie Fury, but I think Chisora personally. That's the Kubrat Pulev we have. This Kubrat Pulev is going to be damn near 40 years old. He is not a punter like Povetkin. I don't even think he's as fresh as an Alexander Povetkin. I think that Pulev this is a mismatch as far as I'm concerned. All right. In terms of how long I think this fight will last, I would be amazed. And I can thank Mark Monroe Boxing. He checked odds. It's 11-2 for this fight to go between rounds 1 and 3. I'd be very surprised if this fight goes beyond 3 rounds. Seriously. I can see AJ maybe having a look in the first round, but after that, realising that this guy is not a massive puncher, he's not good on the inside, I can see AJ stepping on the gas and just getting this guy out of there. I really can. He's not going to want any fumbles. He's going to want to look devastating, especially being back in the UK. I could see him walking straight through Kubrat Pulev. In terms of this fight, I think that this fight will be over quicker than... This fight right here is going to be over quicker than this guy when he's, getting a private dance in a strip club, if you know what I mean. Be kind of quick like that. Be over like that. That's the way I'm thinking. So I'm thinking AJ, he is going to go in there. He is going to steamroll Kubrat Pulev as far as I'm concerned. I can't... In boxing, I've learned, especially in heavyweight boxing, I've learned to never feel as though you know the outcome of a fight before it happens. Because a lot of things can happen. A lot of things can change. But this fight right here, I just cannot see anything other than AJ taking Pulev's head clean off his shoulders. There's times in boxing where I've been shocked when certain things have happened. If Pulev managed to go in there and beat AJ at this stage, I wouldn't just be shocked. I would be dumbstruck. I'd be amazed. I'd be baffled. That's true. I just can't see it. I see this fight as almost a foregone conclusion that AJ is going to steamroll Kubrat Pulev. What happens after that, in terms of who he fights, whether he decides to go ahead and fulfill his mandatory obligation against Alexander Usyk or go straight into a fight with Tyson Fury, that's a different story. We're not talking about that. We're talking about this fight, and I just can't see anything other than AJ win. I really can't. And I think most people are in agreement. I mean, most people I speak to who are not casuals, obviously the casuals would obviously say AJ will win, but even most hardcore fans I speak to are in agreement that this fight ain't going long. This is a couple of rounds at max. As I said, we're dealing with, it's not 40-year-old Povetkin. 40-year-old Povetkin, he's got quick hands, quick feet, can punch. He's not feather fisted. He's not the slickest fighter in the world, but he's not defensively terrible either. That's a very different prospect than Kubrat Pulev. A very different. It's a lot harder prospect, I feel. So, in terms of this fight, I see only one winner, AJ, by knockout. And I give him my 2 cents on it, Just give him my sense. And I feel like, as I said, I've said before, I think Pulev is a good opponent for AJ to build confidence, which I do believe. And I think that it's a good opponent for AJ to sharpen that killer instinct. Because you don't want that to go. You want it to stay. And AJ will be in there with someone I think he really will decide, you know what, I'm going to make an example out of you. I'm going to get rid of you. I think that's what's going to happen in this fight. So those are my thoughts on this. Let me know yours down below. Leave it in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Do you give Kubrat Pulev a shot? Do you think I'm underestimating his ability? Let me know your thoughts down below. But ultimately, let me know what you think will happen in this fight. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, of course, please leave a like, subscribe, of course, if you are new. And I say I hate asking for likes, but believe me, people, it really does help me out. So if you could like the video, I'd appreciate that. Thank you so much. And as always, people, I will talk to you.